Welcome to the Advance Your Art podcast, where we talk about the journey from artist to entrepreneur and everything in between. You've worked hard to hone your craft. Now take it to the next level with tips, techniques, strategies, and routines used by successful artists to grow their businesses and careers. Now, let's get started and have some fun with your host, Yuri Cataldo.
Hello, Brianna. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for taking time to chat with me. I really appreciate it. So for my listeners who are not as familiar with your work, how do you describe yourself and what you do?
Ooh, fun. So how much time you got? What I do is I'm a recruiter for software engineers for all of companies. Like I like to say, like, who's going to be the next Google, the next Facebook, Amazon, whatever, not necessarily in that field. I think right now it's more of like robotics and cars and stuff, but just basically the next tech, all the apps you guys use, I find the engineers that work on those and that develop them. And I've done it for the last 12 years. And Techees has been, which is my company, is now 10 years old. And so we only work primarily in San Francisco Bay Area, but there are some other like tech hubs that are coming out in the States that as long as our clients are there or it's, referrals, because we only do that now, then we'll go there a little bit. But our main focus is software engineering in the Bay Area. So that's been really fun. It's fast moving. It's ever changing. But I also think hiring in general is changing in every industry because we change, technology changes. So it's been super great. And then about me, I'm one of those like annoying kids at like a sleepover that like wakes up super early and super happy and like has breakfast with the parents. So I have two kids. We lived actually in Mexico last year, which is cool about what I do is I can do it anywhere, even though, I have actually I have 3 offices now and I have some employees. It was really cool to just kind of take off and enjoy. I think that a lot of people, especially in the United States, forget that the reason why we work is so we can enjoy life. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that is very cool. So that's interesting that you kind of took. So did you actually take a year off or did you just move and work remotely for a year?
I worked remotely for 3 months. So it wasn't like a full year or anything. It was just a summer. And I actually ended up buying property there in hopes that I moved. So we will see.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Okay. So I like to back up a little bit before we get into the details about your company. So you said you've been doing this for the last 12 years. So what did you originally go to school for and study?
Well, I was going to be a fashion designer and have a store. I went to fashion school in LA.
Yeah, excellent.
Yes. So I don't actually have a degree. I mean, I have the 2-year thing, but I graduated from there and I was like, cool. I need money for that. Yeah, so that didn't work out. But my stepdad and dad both had their own businesses, and it was like one of those things like growing up, we were just like, yeah, we're gonna have our own business. Great, cool. But you don't think of like all the logistics and even like what it's in. And I think a lot of people are like that. Like, I just want to be a business owner. Cool. Yeah. And that didn't exactly, go to plan on that one. So I ended up working at a bar, which was super fun, by the way. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna, we'll make cash and all that stuff and I'll eventually save and I will open my own store. And not just like, a couple years, few drinks later, right? You're thinking, oh, I'm still at the same place I was 2 years ago. That's probably not a good idea. So at like age 22, let's see, I'm 35. 22-ish. I decided that I needed like a real job. I didn't know what that real job was, but I was thinking, okay, how can I make money and quickly? The only way I know how to do that is in sales, right? I don't want to climb some like crazy ladder and go through all that nonsense.
Right.
And so I just put my resume out there, and my stepdad was in sales. And so he helped me with like all like those keywords, you need on there.
Yeah.
And did that, put it on Monster. And then funny enough, as I think I definitely believe in like things happening for a reason, is my girlfriend took me out at night and said, hey, I think you should be a recruiter. I'm like, what the heck's a recruiter? And she like told me all about it. And she's like, yeah, your personality is great for it. You love like being a matchmaker. Like when we go out, like this is like, you just do that, but you get paid for it. I'm like, well, that's really cool. So, and then oddly enough, I am not joking, during this dinner, I get a phone call from a staffing agency, and he goes, hey, have you ever heard of recruiting before? I'm like, huh? He goes, I just found your resume on Monster. I'm like, this is weird. So I went in for an interview the next day and got hired and started recruiting. So, and I never looked back.
Yeah, that's great. So what was it like your first, like, your first few months on the job? Was it something that, like, when you had thought about the idea of recruiting and then you actually were being a recruiter, what were the similarities and what were things that were totally different from what you thought?
Oh my gosh. Well, here's the thing. It's like, I think when you don't have anything really to like match something up against, like you have no expectations, you really have nothing to lose. I think it's the best because I wasn't really thinking of what it was supposed to be. It was just like, wow, this is really cool. Like I get paid what? How much am I getting paid for this? Yeah, this is great. And then it's like, it's very competitive, and I'm extremely competitive. And I am very impatient, which my mom always said would not work out for me. So it has. So yeah, and being impatient in recruiting is a gift. And I love it. Like it has to move fast. The job process and the clients, you always are moving. You're always staying on top of things. You are involved in someone's life really quickly. And actually, I was a bartender, cocktail waitress. I really related it to what I was doing in recruiting because all of a sudden, I think this goes like with the hairstylist too. Like someone's telling you their life story in like 2 seconds. And you're like, okay, this I can handle because there's nothing, well, besides family and friends, and depends on who you ask, there's really nothing more important, impactful to somebody than their career. So it's very personal. And so very immediately, about someone's life. And so it was just like a really easy transition for me to understand and grasp and get excited about. So immediately I loved it.
Yeah. Okay, great. So at what point when you were working for this as a first recruiting firm, did you decide that you wanted to start your own company and go out on your own?
Well, it's funny. I never decided that.
Oh. Did they just kind of kick you out the door, or just gradually happen?
No. So in the current company I was with, he had I think teams of 6 and 8 about. I think the largest team I was on was 10. And so like as he grew and stuff, like we kind of like start different offices. And the reason being is because like, you work as a team. And so I think any more than that, it gets like a little loud and voices get lost and stuff. Okay. And so he kept it like that. And as you did well, he would promote you to like basically your own team. And I was working under someone that all of a sudden I just did not see eye to eye with. And a situation happened that I didn't find very ethical. And it was like the first moment where I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, we're making a lot of money. Yeah, I'm really young, but this doesn't like sit well with me. I feel like we can do things differently. I guess I just grew more of a conscience that I was originally had, perhaps, to totally admit. And so I said, no, I don't like this. I don't want to work with you. And so I literally decided overnight that I was just leaving. I had zero plan. I walked into my boss's office, told him the situation, and I said, I'm leaving. He's like, whoa, wait, what do you mean? Like, wow. Like he was really dumbfounded by it. I don't think he believed me. And I just packed up my stuff and I left. It was a Friday. And I was definitely one of the top producers there. And so like everyone looked at me like totally shocked. And we were all like about the same age, like really young 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were all good friends too. Like we all party together. I mean, like that's what I think what sales is too, right? Like you just kind of drink and reckless and whatnot. And so over the weekend, everyone just kind of celebrated like me quitting because it was like, that was really cool. You just quit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my boss at the time was like, hey, are you going somewhere else? I'm like, nope. He's like, you have no plan. I'm like, oh, nope. My mom was bawling, like all this stuff. And so he goes, okay, so if I can fix the situation, you'll come back. I go, yeah, sure. I love recruiting. He goes, okay, cool. Give me until Tuesday at noon. I'm like, great. So yeah, like I said, partied over the weekend, celebrated like being like super ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And Tuesday came and went and he didn't call me. And I was on Sunday, the Sunday before, so 2 days prior, I was actually out with my stepdad. And he goes, so wait, you're just waiting for him to call and go back to work? I go, yeah. He's like, well, have you ever thought about opening your own business? I'm like, yeah, eventually, but I don't know what I want to like open my own store. Like I was still kind of on that kick.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, but you really like this? I'm like, yeah, no, totally. He goes, okay, so what does he do for you that you can't do for yourself? Huh. And me being extremely cocky and 23 years old, I go, nothing. And so, like I said, so then Tuesday came and went. He didn't call me. Wednesday morning, I opened up Techees, and that was it. I had no intentions of it. I just did it.
Okay, so you opened this up. What did that entail? Like, did you put up a website? Were you just like emailing people to let them know you were out there? What did that mean?
Yeah, so you definitely have like a non-compete. So I knew I had to like say goodbye to all my clients, all the candidates, all that stuff.
Okay.
And I went on LegalZoom, got legal about it. I got my applicant tracking system. That's what we call my database.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just updated all my information on LinkedIn, which pretty much alerts people, and just started from scratch. Like I knew how, because like in recruiting, you're constantly starting over. Like, I mean, not from scratch, but like in theory, you're starting over, with sales cycles and stuff.
Right.
And so I just started reaching out to clients the way I knew how. I was starting to reach out to candidates the way I know how, because in recruiting, you have to do both at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, there's like a catch-22 to it. And I just went for it. And that was, that was it. Like, I feel, especially back then, it was really easy to stand out. Actually, I still think it's easy to stand out because recruiting has such a bad reputation that it's done wrong, that it was really easy to do it right.
Yeah. So what made you, with Techees, what made you also want to pick the areas that you focus in? Is that because that was something you were already recruiting for and passionate about, or is it something else that was there that you really liked working with?
No, I just went to where the money was, and that's what I was trained to do. I was trained to do tech and in the Bay Area, and I'm like, why would I leave it? Because I know about it, right? I already have a learning curve, and also in the Bay Area, that's where the most VC funding goes.
Right.
So again, you just kind of go to where the money is, and it was just really simple. Like the lingo was simple, and I didn't really have to like think too much about it. Like I said, I just kind of did what I had been doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Just now for me. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Let's say that someone listening to this is a coder in the San Francisco area, and they're interested in finding a new position, but they don't know how. What is the basic process like in working with you, and how do you find and work with coders on the other side?
Yeah. So what's cool now is that LinkedIn has made it really easy for you to look, which actually I think it kind of makes it harder for employers to keep people, but whatever. LinkedIn was made for engineers, and now it's evolved to so much more than that. So I think this can be an answer for everyone in any different industry. But basically, you update your LinkedIn exactly like you would your resume, right? You don't want it to be too wordy or anything. And then you have this little button open to opportunities, and that alerts all the recruiters that actually pay for the recruiter side of things that nobody sees. And it's a very cool secret way that companies will never see. Like if you work at Google will never see your open opportunities. It's illegal. So as per their site. So that I would do. And then I would never, ever post your resume. Like that is enough, like to do on like the LinkedIn open opportunities.
Yeah.
And then